Yo, ladies and gents, what's good? What's poppin'? Boomer here, and welcome back to Road to SSL 2025 Analysis Episode 6. If you guys are new to this series, check out the first few episodes on the channel here so you can get an explanation of what the series is about. But before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that I am a daily streamer over on Twitch. If you guys want to come talk to me in real time or ask me questions or just see me play other games, come stop on over for the vibes. I'm also a coach for Rocket League. If you guys are interested in receiving a one-on-one session with me or a replay analysis, join the Discord and check out the coaching section there. Links will be in the description below. The coaching stuff will soon be moved to a Patreon, so stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, so into the first game. Obviously, I think the biggest struggle that we had in these games, the creation was good. You know, the situations were good, the isolations were good. I just couldn't get certain shots that I wanted. I feel like we could have easily, and I'm sure you guys, if you watched the original, you would have noticed, but there were quite a few open nets this game that I feel like I could have definitely put in that would have made the difference. Yeah, this is a good ISO play. So if you're looking at this from Rom or Rome or whatever his name's supposed to be, this is the kind of play where it's like, you know, if Temp is going for an initial air dribble, you know, or just like a 50, this would be a goal. I'm not really sure why Temp's going like high here. I think he's just trying to go for a clip, try to get a pancake, and it's a very good reaction save from this player as well. But those 2v1 situations are what we're really trying to capitalize on in that spot. Here, like, I feel like this is the right play, but again, this is like something that's goofy on stream, so like I could get a weird first touch, and I'm trying to dunk here, and I'm not really sure how I just kind of like go through that, but you know, I'm not going to complain about it. The intention is there, the idea is there, and I think it's correct. The correct play to make there. It's a good fake from him to get the boost, ends up unfortunately bumping into his teammate, so I'm just trying to apply pressure here. I feel like that's not a terrible play. It's a good thing to make them waste boost in that spot, but also keep the pace of the play up without bottlenecking it, which is where it tends to get awkward in 2v2 scenarios. So good job buying time to get temp boost, get out of the play, get reset. This is like one of these situations where this could easily be a goal. I'm not sure what it is, but the turning radius of the car just feels goofier on stream, so this should always be a goal. Even if I single jump and flip here is probably better. And I feel like we should definitely be putting those away and punishing the troll turn by the other team. And this is another one where they both jump and it's wide open, and you can see I even arrow left for it and diagonal left shot, and somehow the ball is just not going to the left. So I feel like that should be a goal as well. I think we just need to be more clinical in terms of, you know, all the decisions that we have, and we don't need to concede stuff like this. So this is kind of trolled by me of, you know, I go way too far when I don't have to. I don't have to go this wide. I can, you know, stay on the line that he's playing towards the net here, and I can kind of just chill in this area, right? Because even if he does get a flip reset, you know, I can, if it goes over, if it goes above me, you know, I can still make a correction, turn in, and just double jump or something like that. Or if he doesn't have it, you know, I'm kind of in this spot to where I could just 50 him, you know, when the ball bounces, and instead I'm expecting him to have some kind of flip reset. And when you have expectations and you place expectations like that over players, you make things a lot more awkward for yourself. And this is kind of like what I was talking about in the first few episodes of, you know, 85 boost for what? What are we doing with this boost? We're absolutely wasting it. We're not even jumping. And we're, you know, inviting the opponent to shoot, and we're conceding a goal that doesn't need to happen. So, not a bad idea there. I'm up to just 50 and block. Play the ball back to temp. It's a good idea. I like it. You know, creating any isolation situations is definitely huge in 2v2. And I think players need to think about that more in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, going forward, once these episodes of temp are done, we're going to be showing you guys what I mean by that when we go back to solo queue. But you want to be creating situations for your teammate where you're making it easy for them. You're leaving the ball in good spots. It's such an overpowered thing to have when you're solo queuing in a game. Again, we're trying to make this guy's life difficult. I'm not really sure what Temp saw. Maybe he could have got the shot off. Oh, a little camera work. Might have been a little too fast for him to actually line up the shot properly. But it's fine. I'm still glad at the decision I made there. Nice, up nice and early to cut for me. If he could redistribute the ball here, it would be massive, but I gotta buy him time to get out and get boost, so not mad at that 50, not trying to give them a clean possession. Almost a double demo there too, would have been massive for us. You can see I'm trying so terribly hard to create situations with what my car is capable of doing on stream, but there's only so much I can do, like stuff like this, right? So this is, again, I remember saying it in the moment, this is capitalizing on these situations. So if you drill like sequences, you know, you can get this to be like muscle memory. So, you know, we're just beating one. That guy just jumped and has like no boost. So now we know if we take our time, or we don't take our time, but we play this at a certain pace to where we don't let the other opponent get back in the play and recover, which you can see he's all the way out of the play. And we present a problem difficult enough for this guy to deal with. So unless he jumps, you know, a lot earlier there, he's just going to get bumped by me. And he's also just playing on the shot. So he needs to either insta-shell temp and buy time for his teammate to get back and get boost, or make the save, or make sure that I can't score it, right? So this is one of these decisions where we're just looking at this, the scenario, what we got in front of us. So this guy's flipping for our back boost. We don't want to reward him, so we switch the ball immediately into open space. And we try to capitalize on giving temp, you know, a mechanical play forward. This guy wastes his boost, and this should have been a goal as well. You know, I can't also blame the game entirely for this shot, because yes, like, it's not the shot that I want, but even if it was on target, Crazy Giraffe still had the save. So maybe it would have been better to just, you know, recognize that I'm beat, recognize that Temp's in the net, and don't go here for this ball. Let him panic, let him hit it away. Instead, I'm conceding a goal that I don't need to concede. So one of those situations where, you know, it should be a goal for you, but you're forcing just a little too much, and then you end up, you know, speeding up the opponent's counterattack. That's the kind of stuff that bites you in the butt when you're in the Grand Champ 2 and Grand Champ 3 ranks. So need to not make that a habit and be aware of it. Again, all these things that we're going over in the analysis are going to be written down. Obviously, these games with Temp have already been played. So it's going to be up until like episode 12, game, I think 23 is what we played up until with Temp. So after that, it's going to be back to solo queue, and we'll be implementing all these changes in these analysis episodes up until that point. Nice, nearly a 50 there. I did not mean to touch that whatsoever, but it happens. And Temp had a good recovery outside of that. Almost a double commit from them. See, this is another important thing of, like, it's a sketchy scenario, right? And I obviously missed my big boost, but this is partly one of the reasons why I tell you guys to try to stay relevant in every single play, regardless of your boost, because now, if I'm not here for Temp's 50, he's probably going to get demoed, and they're going to get a free ball and a big boost. So it's better that I end up with that big boost and the ball as well. It maintains pressure in a play. It maintains relevancy in a play. And it maintains presence. So I wish I could be up here to double, but everything, like my inner clock timings feel a lot more off when I'm on stream. This is very strange as well. I'm trying to like spoiler flick this to the backboard, and I end up just like not getting anything on it whatsoever. Those are the kind of things that behave differently on stream, but knowing that, I should be, if I know my game is not going to behave well on stream, I should be putting in the extra effort to make sure that my touches are going to be good, right? Not a bad idea to try to ground pinch. I wanted to do some kind of mechanical play up in the air, but that's a little too much of a force, because now I'm leaving Temp in a bad spot. This guy sped the play up too fast to where his teammate couldn't get back and help him, and then Temp ends up like delaying his child just a little too much. I wish he had gone, you know, when the guy cuts, so that we could play that ball into my corner. But again, we're not worrying about what our teammates or the opponents are doing. We're worrying about how we play. And then this, I should have just made sure. I have 0 boost in this spot. I should have just made sure I grabbed a penny or two and stopped going supersonic. You know, because now I can't jump for this, and it's a good punish by them to just place a shot around us. And that actually secures them the W, so not much we can do about that. I should play it like high there or pass it to Temp in that spot instead of just trying to rip a shot. Especially with how my game was. I shouldn't have been selfish. I've been trying to set up Temp instead. Trying everything here. You know, just trying to shield them off. I'm trying to give everything to Temp. So after the post shot scenario, just trying to beat them to the boost. So now that I know he's low on boost, I'm going to not hit it into him. And then I'm trying to do this in case the guy jumps for it. So and in case he even tries to drive for it, I'm going to threaten a bump in that spot. He ends up turning away. And then when I know he's going to jump, I'm also trying to jump with him. So hoping Temp could get some kind of 50 and then they get a good save and a good end to the first game. So this game, I just think I need to be way more careful with my touches and score the open nets. All right, into the second game analysis. We got Crontek and Stellar. This game, I remember saying like we need to lock in and score our open nets. Like that's my takeaway, and then this is just like super unfortunate of a bump. It's such a funny Rocket League moment, truly. Nice, we know he's gonna be up instantly, so either two options here. We can fake and try to stay on the sidewall, but that 50 is probably gonna go bad for us if he does get a piece, which you can see he did expect me to fake, which is why I flipped that way. So I took a single jump touch out and then flipped it away. Try to take another 50 here to not give him a clean possession. Let Temp get in here. This I'm just trying to, again, this is a buy time kind of thing. Let Temp reset. And you know, chances are if I could pull that off, if I'm not rusty, it'd be huge. This is one of these plays where it's like, I'm just forcing this play. This is a very good force, so I'm getting information first. I'm like, okay, is he going to turn for it? Is he going to go? Then I make it look like I'm going to go for it. So in the grand scheme of things, I was never planning on touching this again. It's just the threat by pressure by presence right here. So you can see it looks like I'm going to go again, and then all of a sudden I just let him touch it, hit it into the wall, and then he just passes it to Temp. So that's one of those mind games that you can do, and it's more efficient in the Grand Champ 2 and 3's ranks because these players try to play a lot faster than they're comfortable or that they need to. It's not really necessary to be playing that fast, so when you play those little mind games, it's a lot easier for them to be susceptible to something like that. It's kind of like a one situation of like, am I going to touch it or not? Nice, very good bump by Temp. Good pop. I remember how like goofy this looked in the moment as well. I'm still not really sure how this works. Like this guy's jumping and boosting at me, and I'm like somehow hooking him to my car and shooting the ball. And I'm sure that looked really bad for his teammate, and I don't think anyone should have to deal with like that kind of interaction. But is what it is. What are you gonna do? That kind of stuff happens in the game. The game's not perfect. You know, everyone's playing on a online connection, so nothing's going to be perfect. Try to get back here, help Temp. Nice. Good wins on the Chow. This I remember I tried to slot, but I just somehow end up getting like no power on it, even though like I had a pretty somewhat clean turn. Very good save from Crontek though, you can't take away from that. Regardless of if I, you know, had a better shot or not. It's a hell of a save. Nice, I should not be jumping for this. I'm kind of blindsiding myself. Here I gotta realize too, like, these are the spots where I need information. So I'm thinking this guy's immediately gonna shoot, but if I just, you know, took a second, I could probably see that he's not going. I don't have to hit that away. This I wanted to punish and try to shoot it immediately, but again, not really sure how, I guess I just got above it. So I like that I've become more of a disruptor when I'm playing with Temp, but the problem is this is only going to like work if we get a solo queue teammate who's good at following up the ball, which majority of the time we're gonna get extreme playstyles when we're solo queuing. Whether they be too passive or they don't understand the pacing of a play, it's a little unfair to be, you know, doing some of these games with another competitive player because all comp players understand these concepts very, very well. It's doing the most like optimal things and picking the correct decisions in certain situations. That's something that's drilled at the highest level in the game. So, and obviously me and Temp weren't in comms during this, which our communication and chemistry would be a lot better if we were hard common, but this kind of stuff truly does make the difference in these lower ranks. I wanted to catch that as well. I have no idea how that just like pinches off me like that. I have no speed right here, so and I didn't even wave dash. I'm not really sure how that ends up spilling off me. Just trying to take a good 50 for Temp there. And I'm also trying to stay in the play and, you know, see if he has some kind of 50. That's a little dangerous for me to be flipping up towards. I kind of blindside myself to the information because I'm flipping underneath the ball while my camera's looking up. And even then, like, if that guy just rips that shot, it's probably dangerous for us. Which they end up missing, so our counter-attack transitions seem pretty good. The idea to air dribble there is great, but somehow the air dribble is air dribbling me. I end up getting the bump, and then I just in front of it dunk his clear, which is Really smart by us. Nice, good hard win. Obviously just playing the ball first because, you know, he has a very dramatic flip to his boost, so I'm obviously going to be in the advantage. And I'm either going to play the far corner or an elevation. I pick elevation, ends up going through his car, and we get the W. Not really much to take away there. Alright, that's going to do it for analysis episode 6, ladies and gents. If you guys enjoyed this content or want to see more like it, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. Check that noti bell or join the Discord to stay up to date with when I post or go live. If you guys want to show some extra support, use code BOOMA in the Fortnite and Rocket League shops. Much love as always. I'll see you guys in the next one or on stream. Peace.